Todd Madison.
Mr. Madison, we're going to get our IT person to pull up your presentation. So that way you don't have to search around for it. Oh, yeah. I gotta grab some. Up.
All right, thank you. So I'm Todd Madison. I'm a happy resident of Oceanside since 2001. I think I've met all of you at one time. I live in Peters area. Here I have to stop and thank him for giving me a few tips during the great Rancho Del Oro streetlight debate a few years ago. Very much. Tonight I'm here to talk about the importance of quality schools in our district, our community. The need for everyone, perhaps most importantly our council members, to be part of the effort to promote improvement in Oceanside Unified Schools. I realize the city has no direct authority over the school district, but I think our council would take an interest in something so vital to our community. When I moved here, I had no clue. My kids would think I have no clue still, but I admit I paid no attention at all to the importance of schools. Our oldest was a year old. While house hunting, I had this weird idea that we were looking for a big kitchen and a large closet in the bedroom. My wife had different ideas. She insisted that we had the only thing that counted was buying a house in the Ivy Ranch Elementary School District area. So Ivy was a national blue ribbon school in 2001. That's all that mattered, really. I'm glad she paid attention. It was a great decision. Our kids got an excellent education in the Wildcat Corridor, a bunch of wonderful teachers. The same decision is being made by families every single day. And for the good of the community, we need to keep them making that choice to live in Oceanside. Having good schools is not only important to our kids, but it's important to it's directly related to home value. Home values drive higher property tax revenue. Buying cribs and changing tables for those homes increases sales tax revenue. Both give the city more money to create a better place for all of us to live. While my kids were small, I was out working, hunting the buffalo 6 days a week. My wife was the Madison family ambassador to the school. She was involved in everything. Then I got a little bit extra time. My background as an executive and CEO means I know a little bit about budgets and finance. Prop 30 passed, taxes were going up to fund better education. The OUSD budget showed revenue rising, but very little of that was being spent on actually improving education. I started going to board meetings, often presenting analysis of the financials. The district invited me to join their budget or LCAP committee. Several good people at the parent advisory meeting talked me into helping lead that group, which I did for several years. I spent 4 years on the El Camino High Site Council. I've spoken in front of the OUSD board over 100 times, as Eric can tell you. At one time, as you can see here, the district actually appreciated that involvement. During that time, funding per student has skyrocketed at a rate 3 times faster than inflation, 3 times. But academic performance has barely budged. Last year, funding reached an immense peak, while academics dropped to an all-time low. Barely 41% of Oceanside kids are proficient in English, a miserable 29% proficient in math, according to the state dashboard. OUSD receives over $500,000 per classroom. Never in recorded history have they gotten so much money, and never in recorded history have they done so badly educating our kids. We have a crisis in education. Parents are not happy about the damage being done to their kids' future as well as our community. More than ever, they've been stepping up to express that at school board meetings. In my career, I was responsible for customer service at a billion-dollar company. Customer complaints happened. I personally talked to thousands. Hearing their complaints was disappointing, but it was also a learning experience. What could we do to address them and make it better? OUSD's response to this? Cut off the ability for parents to provide input and hide in the dark. Just in the last year, they've cut off the ability of parents to give presentations at meetings like this one. They limited comment on specific agenda items. In the last meeting, they stopped live stream, plunging those meetings into the dark. Then, from behind that curtain, they dropped the guillotine on public input, revising the comment rules to further limit comment time to 3 minutes for the entire agenda on all agenda items. Not 3 minutes per item, but 3 minutes total for everything on the agenda. They say democracy dies in darkness. The OUSD district and board certainly seem composed of vampires. The results are obvious. Enrollment is dropping rapidly. Parents are no longer consider the quality of schools a reason to live here. How long before that impacts our home value? As I said, the city has no direct authority. However, you all certainly have the attention and respect of your constituent. You could help highlight the problem and urge OUSD to take serious steps to solve it. Concerned city councils have sent letters to their school boards. There are concerned council members who attend board meetings. I'm here to urge our council to get involved before it's too late.
Thank you.
Take a stand and insist that Oceanside Unified take immediate and concrete action to restore our
Thank you, sir.
reputation and let the people speak. Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Robert Newton.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Martinez. I'm a retired physician. And I'm here because my colleagues aren't. And the reason my colleagues aren't here is because they're threatened by the medical board if they say anything. They're either threatened by the medical board or the people that employ them and have their paychecks threatened. So I've put these numbers up here today, and I'm going to be discussing them because you folks are probably going to be coming down with a real important decision to make in the near future. You're going to have to decide whether to accept COVID money. It'll be coming down in probably October if you comply, because there's always a string attached to anything that's free. So I want to review the cost of compliance that we've paid, what we've paid in the last 3.5 years for complying. All the data I present today is either from the Social Security Administration, insurance actuarial data, the CDC, or other agencies. And all the figures are U.S. figures unless stated otherwise. So 20% is the deaths that have occurred in the United States from COVID, but we represent 4.3% of the global population. We were not the most compliant, but we were the second most compliant country in the world. Only Australia had more strict measures than we did. So in spite of all those strict measures, we still had 20% of the deaths. The things we did not work. And I want to give you an example. This is not the U.S., but Cuba and Haiti both have 11 million people or so as their population. Cuba had an 87% vaccination rate and 8,500 COVID deaths. Haiti had a 1% vaccination rate and had 800 deaths. My point is the vaccine didn't do squat to prevent deaths. Back to 20 again. 20 is the number, 20% is the increase all-cause mortality. That's 1.2 million non-COVID excess deaths since the shot came out. And I know one death is tragic and 1.2 million is a statistic, but each of those people were people and should be valued each as tragically as we have been presented today with information from tragedies that happen locally. Additionally, 20 is the number of points in IQ that our children lost from being masked up and through the COVID lockdowns. 30 is the percent increase in disability claims, which is a 1 in a gazillion chance to have that much variance. That's from the shots. And 30% of children now need remedial reading assistance due to wearing masks. You have 42 muscles in your mouth, in your face, and you need those to understand things. And the 40 is for 40% of small businesses were closed.
Thank you very much.
Please do not accept this money.
Ken Layton, Rosie.
All right, so I'm here on behalf of the children of Oceanside. So you guys are all working for the city, for the communities that you represent that have voted you in. So I am here on behalf of families and children asking you to put pressure on the Oceanside School Board. As you heard earlier by Todd Madison, they are really trying to discriminate, bully, harass us. They do not want to hear from parents in the community. So El Cajon Mayor Bill Wells, he did take a stand. He does have courage. He wrote a letter in an editorial to the San Diego News Desk. I am deeply concerned about the recent actions taken by the San Diego Unified School District regarding their name and gender instruction form. It is terrible to witness yet another example of school districts overstepping their bounds and assuming they know better than parents regarding their children's well-being. San Diego Unified School District is now actively encouraging children to identify as trans or non-binary and helping them keep it a secret from their parents. What kind of twisted logic is this? Since when did schools become the gatekeepers of such crucial information? Parents are now left in the dark about their children's lives. This is nothing short of an attack on parental rights, transparency, and common sense. The idea of hiding something as significant as a child's gender identity from their parents is an insult to the principles of family, trust, and open communications. Parents have every right to be fully informed about their children's lives, especially concerning matters as personal and impactful as this. You get the gist of the letter. So my point is that we need your help as leaders in the community to help this out-of-control school board that has gone rogue and actually has a lot of animosity towards people that challenge their narrative. So I know 3 of you are up for re-election. Peter Weiss, Ryan Keim, and Mayor Sanchez. So we are looking for strong leaders that are going to protect the most vulnerable. They're being sexualized, indoctrinated. They're being taught that our country should be hated. They should hate their neighbors. That is not what our taxpayer money should be going to. It should be towards reading, writing, math, the Constitution, and history. And Eric Joyce, I'm sorry if I bored you, but this is a really important issue. I know that you were on the board and you know many of the issues that are prevailing there. So please take a stand for the children. That's who we want to vote for. We want to vote for bold, courageous leaders that are going to stand up for our seniors, for our children. The children are our future, so let's do our part as adults and push back against all of this garbage. Thank you.
Patrick H.
So I just want to kind of piggyback on that. Let me give you some, we are asking you guys for help. It says right up there, liberty, in God we trust, City of Oceanside. So City of Oceanside means you guys are in charge. Well, maybe you're not in charge, but you could have a say in the school district and say something. You guys have kids, you might have grandkids going there. Some of you probably put them in a private school because you know what's going on. But let me give you some numbers. 31% of students are proficiency in math. 31%, that's gone down since Vitale took over in 18. It just keeps dropping. 51% are proficient in reading. I'm going to go there and I'm going to say it. So it's been dropping every year. These are the things that have been going on, okay? No more televised meetings, which means they're private. That's kind of weird. They want it all private now. Parents are limited to 3 minutes. So if they have a 1 or 40 topics, we got 3 minutes to talk on all 40 topics, and then 3 minutes at the end to put in a statement. That's kind of weird. That tells you they don't want parents to speak. They're hiring LGBT teachers with no credentials. That's going on there. I don't know if you guys know that. Look into it. They hired Max Dispositi, who's the director of the LGBT Center in Oceanside, to teach teachers. You kind of see the route I'm going here. They allow rated R books that say, under 18 should not be reading these books and is against the law. Why do we have unlawful books in the libraries? See the trend I'm going here? I hope you guys are tying this together. Trying very hard to sexualize our kids. Why would they do that? They're doing more to sexualize our kids than to teach them. It's obvious by the scores. Could they, I'm going to go there. I am going to go there. Could they be part of maybe the child sex trade going on? Could they be? Or could they be setting the kids up for that? Think about it. Are we setting ourselves up for another Hawaii where kids, they can't account for 200 or 300 kids? Is that going to happen in Oceanside on your guys' watch? On your guys' watch. And like my wife said, you guys are coming up for election. If you don't stand for the families, and I'm for kids. I'm for education, okay? I don't care if they're gay, straight, red, black, or white, or yellow. I don't care. They need to get a good education so they can get good jobs. Are we not America and want our kids to run this country and to, qualify in the world? Do we not want that? So take a stand, you guys, okay? Who will stand for the nuclear family and child rights? Who will stand? Who will stand? Who will say something? Who will get involved? Any of you? We know Joyce won't, because he didn't for 2.5 years. All these meetings we were there, he never took a stand at all. He wasn't a man. He wouldn't do it. Okay? I'm asking you guys, the real men in here, take a stand for these kids. If you don't, then you're either a coward or you made your choice.
Thank you very much. Susan Custer.
Good evening. Is it on? Yeah. Okay. As we hear that mask mandates are returning, I'm asking you to please ban mask and vaccine mandates, as Huntington Beach has done. Please make this city a no mask, no vaccine mandate city. Make a resolution declaring that Oceanside has a no mask, no vaccine mandate. This will protect the personal freedom of the local residents. If any business wants to require a mask to be admitted to their business, they of course should be allowed to do so. And of course, anyone who wishes to wear a mask and get vaccinated should do so. There are many studies which document the fact that masks do not stop the spread of COVID, and they do cause other health problems. A study published in the Journal of Ecotoxicology and Environmental Safety states that masks pose no significant risk to wear. That's wrong. Masks pose significant risk to wearers because of toxins emitted by the tight-fitting face covers. One of the substances added to plastics to increase their flexibility, transparency, durability, and longevity can be inhaled, ingested, and absorbed through the skin. Exposure has been found to be detrimental to reproductive and neurological development. Frontiers in Public Health in April found the following negative impacts of both surgical and N95 masks: decreased oxygen saturation, decreased minute ventilation, increased carbon dioxide in the blood, increased heart rate, blood pressure, and skin temperature, higher levels of discomfort, shortness of breath, headaches, acne, skin irritation, and dizziness. There are many studies that show that universal school masking did not lead to fewer cases in schools, and it did great harm to the children. Some of the problems include such things as delayed speech, difficulty in reading social cues, and delayed social skills. This is just some of the problems with masking and does not even touch on the vaccine problems. So please, for the future of our city, our residents, and most of all our children, pass a resolution making Oceanside a mandate-free city. If Huntington Beach can do it, so can Oceanside. Please think of the residents and the children and make it so that they can go to school without a mask. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's it.